Hello, heathens! Today we're going to talk about the Mormon Church and how it is anti-gay, despite the fact most Mormons are really friendly people. But first, you're probably wondering, what happened to Professor Fact Check since the attack on Magnifishit Labs?
Magnifishit Labs was just attacked by the radical right. They were all here. The Tea Party, Fox News, Trump supporters, the Mormons, the Fred Phelps crowd. They broke in, they destroyed everything. But I can't find the professor, Professor Fact Check, my colleague. This is her.
What? Oh! Lab coat! Wait, I'm getting a transmission. Put it on screen.
Hello, Dr. Magnifishit. We have Professor Fact Check. Hello, Dr. Magnifishit. We have Professor Fact Check. We are the religious right regime. We speak for Jesus.
You religious right bastards! You're terrorists!
Wrong. We're not terrorists. We're doing God's work. Anyway, if you want to see Professor Fact Check again, send
$100 billion!
But you broke into our safe and ransacked the lab. We don't have any money.
Then you better figure it out.
You left your stupid Trump hat? How about I give you that instead?
You can keep the damn hat. We've got hundreds of them. Send the money now. Jesus doesn't save for free.
Right-wing bastards! You can donate to the ransom to free Professor Fact Check in the description. Now, let's talk about those friendly bigots, the Mormons. I am Dr. Magnifishit. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Voltaire. Hello, heathens. This is the first of a 3-part series on the Mormons, which I'm calling Mormons the Friendly Bigots. Because they're really friendly, and they're bigots. Today is about their anti-gay policies. For those of you who are unaware, the term Mormon is a nickname for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or abbreviated as LDS. If you know much about their beliefs, you might think LSD is a better abbreviation since they're a real trip. In general, Mormons are some of the nicest people you will ever meet, and they really do mean well. Mormons believe their religion is good for everyone. They think their religion is like a t-shirt, one size fits all. But that's bullshit. If you're a Mormon and watching this, and you agree that some of the church's policies are wrong regarding gay people or chauvinism in the church, then you know you are in a minority group. Most LDS followers do not question anything in the church.
It's wrong to criticize leaders of the church, even if the criticism is true.
They just go along blissfully ignorant of the harm and suffering that the church is causing other people. You may be wondering, how can someone believe such hurtful and bigoted policies, yet still love gay people? They use the
hate the sin and not the sinner
mentality. However, there's more to it than that. The Mormon Church has a somewhat complex system which you could easily argue is brainwashing. They use a myriad of coercive persuasion tactics confusingly interwoven with each other. Many of you may have heard a similar phrase to the Voltaire quote I mentioned earlier, something along the lines of, "Religion can get good people to do bad things." Mormons are a prime example of this. Even though they're generally some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, they have some ridiculously bigoted and chauvinistic policies and beliefs, with an even more chauvinistic and racist past. Although they follow these policies and are aware of their racist history, they're not actually racist and don't see their actions as prejudice or chauvinistic. And oddly enough, they really don't hate gays. It's one of the strangest phenomena you'll ever see. They are not like the Westboro Baptists who openly and angrily hate gay people. They're generally very kind to gay people and say they love and care about them, even though their policies and actions say the opposite.
I
I just love you. I know you can overcome these sinful desires with the help of Jesus. I just want you to be truly happy.
No, truly, I'm happy.
No, you're not. You just think you're happy.
No, I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Only through the love of Jesus can you become happy and get rid of these homosexual desires.
I don't want to get rid of them. Really, I'm happy.
No, you're not.
What they're really saying without realizing it is,
I care about you and want you to be happy, and I can't comprehend someone being truly happy who is living a gay lifestyle and isn't Mormon. Also, I don't think you deserve equal rights because of the way our God made you. Unless you want to act straight, then you do have the same rights to marry someone of the opposite sex, even though God made you attracted to the same sex.
in other words,
It's okay you're gay on the inside, but you have to act straight on the outside. And if you give in to your natural homosexual desires, then you're going against God, even though God's the one that gave you those desires in the first place. Did I mention you don't deserve equal rights?
in the wake of gay marriage being legalized, the Mormon Church came out with a new policy late last year that states children of gay couples are not allowed to be baptized in the Mormon Church until they turn 18. The policy states once you've turned 18, you must also move out of your parents' home, and you must disavow same-sex cohabitation and marriage. And even after all that, the church leaders still need to approve your baptism. Now, the age of baptism in the Mormon Church is 8 years old. Because when you're 8, you're apparently old and wise enough to make important life decisions, like what religion to be part of, unless your parents are gay. The policy also stated that members of same-sex marriages would be considered apostates. Timmy, we did our best to raise you as good parents and give you an education and loved you unconditionally. But since we both have vaginas, we can't go to heaven with you. As you can imagine, this caused quite a stir. As a result, there was a mass resignation where about 1,000 Mormons resigned in a protest. However, there are a few Mormons who do not condone these anti-gay policies, like Neon Trees singer Tyler Glenn, who has recently left the church due to the new anti-gay policies, which led to the rash of about 40 young LGBT Mormon suicides. Tyler Glenn stated, "My entire life and perspective on God, the afterlife, and morals and values, and my self-worth, and my born sexual orientation has been wired within the framework of the religion that doesn't have a place for me. I served an LDS mission. I was the square peg trying to fit into a round hole. I believed it until 6 months ago." What's been happening pissed Glenn off enough that the Neon Trees' new music video was openly against the Mormon Church. Hello! I've come here to make a correction. It was Tyler Glenn's solo video, not the Neon Trees video. Now you know what I look like out of costume. If you see me out in public, say hello. Glenn stated to Rolling Stone, "The big problem here is that they claim it's the only truth. There have been over 40 suicides within the church as a result of this policy. These aren't grown men and women. Many are children. It's backwards. It's not God. I need to make this statement to artfully show the pain of a faith crisis and the darkness of doubt. But also, there's ways to reclaim what's yours. Sometimes their personal anti-gay behavior may seem downright goofy, like a friend I had in high school who didn't own any Elton John CDs because he didn't want to support his gay lifestyle. I can't recall a single song where Elton John was singing about gay sex. However, this same brilliant friend did own some Erasure CDs. He also liked Soft Cell.
Take my tears and that's not nearly all.
Now that may just seem ignorantly harmless, but when this illogical thinking carries over into your personal life, it hurts your friends and family. I had some Mormon family members who did not go to the wedding of another gay family member because they didn't want to support their lifestyle. Let me ask you a question. Do you go to a straight wedding to support the sex they'll have? Being gay is a lifestyle in the same way that being straight is a lifestyle. It's not one, it's just your biology. Now, the Mormon Church being anti-gay is nothing new. In 2008, the LDS Church gave over $180,000 to Prop 8, which was a measure to make same-sex marriage illegal in California. And since they can't do anything about gay marriage in the United States now, church leaders in Mexico are fighting to stop gay marriage there. There's a new book out called Saving Alex by 21-year-old Alex Cooper, which chronicles what happened to her when she was 15 in 2010 after her LDS parents kicked her out for being a lesbian. She was sent to live with another family to go through conversion therapy to get fixed. She suffered through unimaginable abuse. She even attempted suicide while living with this other family. She writes, "No one should be beaten or be told that God doesn't want them, or be sent to a dangerous so-called conversion therapy because they are gay. And no family should feel that they have to choose between their faith and their child." Conversion therapy is being done all over the United States by untrained and unlicensed people like the couple who put Alex through hell. And not just by Mormons. In fact, it's probably done less by Mormons than other certain Christian denominations. If you grew up gay and Mormon, you've probably heard of Evergreen International, a Christian organization with the goal of helping people who want to diminish same-sex attraction and overcome homosexual behavior. It was endorsed by the LDS Church. It closed in 2014. But Evergreen was fairly tame. Before you try to pray the gay away, you could go to ex-gay repetitive therapy. What I'm about to tell you is literally shocking. It sort of veers off the topic of Mormonism a bit, although Mormons were guilty of this, but so were Christians of all stripes prior to 1973.
Homosexuality was considered a mental disorder before 1973.
In this therapy, you would watch slides and be given shocks when you'd see something relating to homosexuality. In extreme sessions, a man's genitals might even be shocked. This therapy could also be used for alcoholics, pedophiles, and shoplifters. Going back further to the 1940s, people would commit gay family members to hospitals with the promise of curing them. The patients would not be allowed to leave, and they would go through anything from shock therapy to castration to lobotomies. Luckily, we've made serious progress since then, but that doesn't change the fact that anti-gay church policies in the Mormon Church and others are hurting people. We are in the middle of the next of a series of movements for human rights. There will come a time in the near future where being anti-gay and against same-sex marriage will be looked at the same way we now look at racism and segregation. And when that happens, the Mormon Church will get a revelation straight from God saying that same-sex marriage will now be allowed in the church. Mark my words, it may come in a series of baby steps and policy changes or all at once. How do I know this? Because it's what they've always done. The last big one was in 1978 when they got a revelation right from God that allowed blacks to be full members of their church and receive the priesthood. Quite some time before that, they got a revelation that polygamy was no longer necessary in the church when they were told that Utah could not become a state unless they stopped polygamy. Coincidence?
I think not!
Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to donate to the ransom so we can rescue Professor Bokchek so she can be on the show. Join the Legion of Logic and subscribe. This is Dr. Magnifishit signing off.